The Cosmic Dance, a record of spiritual dialogues, channeled by Julie Suskin. Chapter 8, Silent Cooperation. We come to you in light and power, and you have felt our power to the greatest extent that you can manage. We are nudging you forward and pushing harder on those who have the willingness to grow in energy. When we speak of giving you power, this does not require a conscious choice on your part, for you will automatically fill yourselves with power to a level at which you can accept it. A silent cooperation of energies is constantly taking place, both on your globe and on others, on all levels, with all peoples, and with all living beings. You often speak of balance, but this is not quite accurate. You speak of the balance of good and evil. Your idea of evil, as we have often explained, is largely associated with the astral plane around your globe, and therefore, in the future there will not be an equal balance of good and evil. Indeed, you must work to dissipate evil and negativity now. We have spoken much of the deterioration and the dissipation of astral negativity. The astral body will have to dissolve, but this does not mean you will lose a spiritual counterpart. That is something quite different. The astral body is created by the emotions and thought processes, and is influenced by the state of development, position, and level of the soul energy. Together with the outer casing of energies, this makes up the whole of the living being. The astral body is the shadow. When you stand directly in the light, there is no shadow. The energies are largely unseen, but they are moving all the time, whether you are aware of them or not. This process is ever increasing. We described before an image of oil and water, watching it continuously change shape, changing but not decreasing. Again, we present this picture, for you are further along the road of understanding, and this image will have a greater meaning to you, now that you have a better understanding of these energies. The soul is always triumphant. Nothing can destroy it. The heavens are open to you now. You can glide into the light force whilst you are still in your body. You have no conception of the enormity of where you can go from here. The evolutionary pattern of your being is nowhere near its fruition. There are many more experiences and mutations ahead of you. There is a constant flow of light forces, but this is too nebulous for you at this point, so we will continue to explain what is happening on your Earth. As the astral clears, more and more light force energies can penetrate the dense atmosphere above your globe. Consequently, you are having more communications with outer energies. We spoke last time of the dangers of negative astral thoughts traveling outside your atmosphere. There cannot be communication with beings outside your planet without clearing of the astral, for these connections can only be made between forces of light. This does not mean that every person who has received a communication from beings beyond your world is a perfect being. These connections are made between the light within that individual and the light forces outside. There will be more of these communications from now on, and your media will be full of them. Communications are being made not just with one star or one planet, but with many. These are coming through into the consciousness of your planet, and this is made possible because of the dissipation of the dark clouds which surround your globe. If you could have seen the astral body of your planet some 50 to 100 years ago, it would have looked like a dense, impenetrable fog. Now, at last, this is being cleared by the consciousness, by the positivity, and by the evolutionary light forces of individuals on your planet. How much better it is to see the sun without the clouds. Some of you speak of dark forces in the cosmos and universe. Yes, there are dark forces elsewhere, but there is nothing to compare with the kind of darkness that has been surrounding your planet. We are not stating that there is nothing so dense or more negative, just that there is nothing which is the same. So the antennae are listening out on your globe, and the transmissions are becoming clearer. Oh, the thrill to be able to hear the transmissions of light beings. The thrill, the surprise, and to some extent, the perplexity of individuals who receive these flashes of communication. For the most part, they do not speak to you in words. What transpires is the transmissions are picked up by your minds and are then translated into words. Sometimes people hear words and think the beings they are communicating with are speaking their own language. This is not so. When a communication is made, this is translated into the language of the receiver by the mind of the receiver. We speak gently but firmly to you now. Be strong. Much is happening around you. Although the group connection is one of joy, you as individuals need that inner rock-like strength. You will have your doubts, but listen to your soul. Listen to your own light transmitting within yourselves. You know the truth. Hold fast to it, keeping silent cooperation with the God Force, with the cosmos, and with all. Because of the energy forces of the soul and the soul's ability to connect, some human beings have made contact with other star systems, with energies other than those of your planet. This is the part of the evolutionary pattern of some individual souls. At this time you have on your planet many souls who have had a myriad of energy experiences. Some of these were in places other than on your planet. Memories of these experiences are awakening in some souls at this time. Some have energies from other places. Indeed, more than there ever have been before. Again, we speak of beings as part of the whole, part of the very beginning of light forces, as it was when the physical structures of the stars, planets, and all parts of the great consciousness came into existence. These memories are being awakened in you now. This connection is one that is meant to be, one which will enable those who make this connection to see, to communicate, to remember the wisdom, the energy, and the power they have always had hidden within them. The changes now occurring on Earth are affecting every living being, but as all people are different, individuals are reacting to and experiencing these bodily changes in different ways. For many, what they experience is a depletion of their life force energy. Others experience their life force being stimulated and enhanced. They have greater centers of light within. Some deaths, which are attributed to natural causes, tragedies, and such like, happen because on a physical level, the existing life force of an individual cannot withstand the new influx of energy. It is not that the new energy is draining them dry. What happens is they cannot reach up to it. So their own life forces retreat back into the earth. This is not easy for you to understand, for we are explaining this rather sketchily. What we are saying is that the experience is different for each individual. Death is just a process. It is not evil, it is not bad, nor is it a judgment. It is a process of law, and the laws are absolute. Some individuals cannot take this energy, so their own energy fails, and they die. This may seem harsh and insensitive, but this is reality. There has always been physical dissolution. A person dies when their soul elects to go, not before. If the soul knows there is nothing more it can experience in that lifetime, a physical cause is manifested to end the life of that individual. The soul cannot die. There are those who have, throughout the eons of time, experienced, grown, and transcended the genetic flaws of astral negativity. These are now being stimulated. At the present time, one part of their bodies is being stimulated most. This part is around the glands in the neck. You will feel this growth. This may cause some discomfort, but it will only last a few weeks. The lungs must also expand and grow. There must be a new breath to take in a new air, the new energy. The lungs are growing, and it is very important the lungs are kept active and refreshed with air. Some of you will find certain smells and atmospheres unpleasant, but as your lungs grow and expand, you'll become better able to deal with these unpleasant odors. Far better in the future than at this time. The process of transition is the most difficult. You will find carbon monoxide and smoke very unpleasant at present. You will also have a capacity for the heightening of sound, something, indeed, which we have spoken about before. Indeed, we have described this as sonic sound, the connection of notes with the universal harmonization of frequencies. We say to you now that henceforth you will hear with joy. Healers, use your fine intuition when deciding how best to heal and balance those who come to you. Trust your intuition. There will be some who come to you who are like little children, who just need comfort and calm. You cannot use high frequencies for everyone. To do so would cause a reaction in some like blowing a fuse. We say again, the decision whether or not to make the transition is a matter for the individual's choice. It is unlikely that those who are about to make the leap will be physically ill. This is because the physical body must be strong. Those who are physically very ill are not going to make this jump over the vortex. So, where there is a great physical illness, just calm your patients. Give your beauty and your love, and this will help the individual with their own transition. Every living being, every soul that is incarnate at this time, has an opportunity for growth. The hardest thing for you to move beyond or rise above is the coding that you carry in your body. To rise above this, in a sense, going against what is natural for the body. Think on this and you will understand. Destruction was implanted within the basic structure of man in the form of the instinct for survival. As man progressed, that instinct for survival, with its once necessary destructive element, needed to mutate. There was truly a fight between good and evil. There was a tug of war, and the course of least harm was to allow this negativity into the astral body. The astral could join up with the forces of genetic destruction. Had this not transpired, humanity would have been totally destroyed. It was known when this happened that it would take thousands of years to experience for this to finally work itself through, and so most of you reincarnated into many difficult lifetimes. The reason for this is not because you've done something wrong, but because you are allowing the opportunity for this transmutation to work through gradually, like a thorn in the flesh working its way to the surface throughout the eons of time. This was not against cosmic law. It was a choice made by your planet, not a choice directed by any outside factor. The cosmos has, in a sense, allowed this vast evolutionary process to run its course, knowing that all would work out in the end, although the source did not know what would become of Earth, or indeed of any other planet. Dear children, you have exceeded our expectations in your experience, your knowledge, and your growth. And again we speak of the joy you have given us. The joy of human physical experience is unequaled and incomparable to that of any other planet. But of course, there were never any expectations demanded of you. There was a natural flow. When the flow is outwards, no consciousness can know exactly what may occur. Now, as the wheel comes full circle, the spiral has turned to the point where you are moving into light. There will undoubtedly be other worlds that will have similar opportunities. Indeed, there is one other planet that has karmic laws, but we do not know where this will lead, what choices they will make within the sphere of their experience. There is breathing out and breathing in. And just as you breathe in the scent of flowers, You can also breathe in noxious fumes. These are all experiences, all choices in the unlimited time of the great breath. This great breath is, even in your terms, vast. You cannot ever conceive of it, even in your most expanded state. It encompasses the whole universe and the cosmos, including all the galaxies and the energies within. Picture a dragon's breath, fierce and powerful, but also cleansing, clear and beautiful. We spoke of not allowing yourselves to become dependent upon a crutch, and this applies also to your astral guides. There is, as we have said, a group of ascended souls, master energies at your disposal for teaching and for your growth. There is no capacity within these energies for making excuses. They speak frankly, even bluntly, but always wisely, always with love. You must now get in touch with your consciousness within your body, for this consciousness is linked to the greater heart of the great consciousness. We spoke earlier of the eye, the pupil of the source. It is not easy for your minds to understand this. Just know in your soul that it is part of the great consciousness, part of the mind of God. Listen for truth. Truth is truth wherever you hear it. There is a vast energy force coming in now that will greatly affect the neck and throat. Indeed, if you are sensitive, you will see the light shining out of the back of the neck. Go with the flow of life, for no one can truly conceive how great this transition is. None can have access to all information, even at the end of this period. With regard to these transmissions, these are for general consumption. They are truths, to give you courage and to give you hope, joy of life and experience. As the last breath of the outworking of karma draws to a close, you will understand the experiences that you have all encountered. You will have knowledge of the experience that every living soul has had. You will not have access to all the knowledge of the cosmic forces, but you will have knowledge of all that has existed on this planet.